Welcome back, fellow scrubs. It's Thursday, so we're going to be working on the Retro Mansion game project today. We're going to be doing Parallax scrolling, which is something that Unity is not built with, and I have what I think is an intelligent game plan for it, and we'll find out if that's actually true. So, welcome, and we'll just kind of jump right into it. And yeah, so the first song in the playlist today was from Portrait of Ruin. It's the where you select your file and enter a name or whatever. Must be the only thing I liked from it. I did like a lot of the music from Portrait of Ruin. I thought it was pretty well done. It was more video gamey than a lot of the Castlevania games had been, and that was due in part, I think, to the people who worked on it. So it wasn't just Michiru. They had a whole bunch of other contributing artists. How's that? I think... Hey, Amber! What? Yuzo Koshiro, did he do the Streets of Rage soundtrack?
Yeah, the Streets of Rage too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Yuzo Koshiro did some tracks for Portrait of Ruin. Including Invitation of the Crazed Moon, which is the first area that you start in, and I really, really like that one. But I believe the File Select one that you heard, I believe that's Michiru's. But they had like at least 3, maybe up to 5 contributing artists for that soundtrack, so that was an interesting one. And Order of Ecclesia was similar, I think, where they had at least 2 people, and Dawn of Sorrow had 2 people. So there was that. You'd probably never hear it long enough normally. Yeah, that's true. That's true, because it's just the menu. Okay, so here's the game plan of what we're working on. Oh, first, I suppose I should explain if people don't know. If anybody doesn't know what parallax scrolling is, the concept is actually fairly... you know what? I'll just pull up the video. It's basically just simulating depth with 2D images. I don't know, friggin... Gradius probably has some. Right? It's more of a Super Nintendo thing, but you can get away with it on the NES under certain circumstances. A lot of space shooters. Shmups had them. Get out of here. Oh my god, 2 ads in a row? Get out of here. Okay, here we go. I'm assuming this game has it, it may not. Okay, yeah, actually, see how the stars move at different lengths here? So the ground moves at one speed, and the stars move at a different speed, to give you the idea that... Actually, there's a few layers of stars here going by, so there's a few of them at different speeds. To give you the simulation that some stars are closer than others, and some stars are farther away, and the ground is at a certain level of distance away from... It's Game Day Scrub sponsored by Rambo 5. Yeah. To give you the idea that, you know, they're moving at different speeds, so therefore there should be some depth implied there. You know, that some stars, like I said, are farther away. The ground is closer than some of the stars, that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to be working on today. And it's a little bit tricky in Unity, because even though it's a 3D engine that has actual depth, to get Parallax actually properly working is a little bit of an issue. It doesn't come with it right out of the box. And so we're going to be working on that today. So the basic idea here, and we're going to have to process some graphics here. I'm just going to use like a tree. And I know I'm not using a sprite, but we're only going to be processing a little bit before we transition here. Yeah, so what? I'm going to have to draw some additional things here. Let's change the grid to 16 by 16, and these will be just placeholder graphics. You know what, actually, let's just create a new canvas And that way we don't have anything in the way. Except the kid. Let's get the kid in here. Just as a framer reference for how big he is. Oh. Get rid of this. Rid of this. Rid of this. Rid of this. And a little black in the corner. And what'd I do? Okay. Put the kid up there and let's grab the pallet. Okay, now 16 by 167, 16 by 16, and let's just kind of organize a little here. Okay, so this is going to be kind of crappy graphics, but it's just something that we can. Your sprite sheet is very ace. I don't know what you mean by that, ASE. I know you're referencing Ace Sprite in some capacity, but I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I know you're making fun of me somehow. I see what you're doing there, Tim. Alright, so we're just gonna block out some black here. And we'll do a little brown tree trunk here. So maybe this and this, or that and that. Yeah, let's go with those. So it's just gonna be very quick and dirty. So we're not making final graphics. We're just trying to get enough to program it properly. Oh boy, yeah, just make a little step there, step it down so the roots are coming out, right? Yeah, the roots. And get some tree texture. I don't know, just bullshit. Oh, there you go. Good enough. Back to Ace Sprite. That's not the focus of the one this time. I will when we get to other characters. Okay, so there's. Oh, I guess I copied them. I don't know. Guess I will keep the copy. So here's the kid here, and we're gonna make some ground just a little bit, and then so the idea is that the skyline will have like black trees above it, and then we'll have a ground and we'll have the tree layer, and then they'll all scroll at a different thing, and then we'll use that to test it. So the basic idea is that we only want the layers to move, because moving stuff in Unity costs, horsepower, of course. And to properly simulate parallax scrolling, we will have to move them as objects in the game, as opposed to like aligning things with a shader. I mean, you could technically use a vertex shader to manipulate the coordinates, but if you've got an object, 1,000 units away, and it's supposed to follow the camera the whole time, or slightly move as it's going, and it's still visible 1,000 units away, you might have some problems with that. It might get called out, and that kind of stuff, and you don't want that to happen. So we're going to have to actually move the objects here. So, I don't know. Let's try this. Let's see what we get. Yeah, let's make it right. I am definitely not a background artist, so we're gonna have fun here. There. I actually should probably use what's the other one? Pixel or Pixel, whatever you want to call it. I should use that for this part, to be honest. But it is what it is. Here, quick and dirty grass. And then we'll use this for the ground again. Oh boy. That's a little dark. That's okay. Do we have anything else? This probably be too red, right? Yeah, that's too red. I guess that's kind of what we got, unless we go for the yellow-green? Nah. Alright, I think that's what we're gonna end up with. And then, so we'll just copy this. And ta-da! It's our grass pattern. Okay. I know these aren't final graphics, but they're bugging me. It's really bugging me. There. Okay, that looks a little better at least. So we'll go with that, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, alright, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, and then so we're gonna have a little bit up on top. We're gonna kind of do the inverse of what we have going on here. So we might actually be able to just copy this out to here, and we're just gonna manipulate the colors. So this is gonna become this. Oh, that didn't work. No, that didn't work. This is going to become this. There we go. This will become this, and this will also become this. So we're just simulating an additional tree line up on top, and so we'll do that. And I'll be honest, I think it should be reduced in half. So 50%. Looks terrible, but it is what it is. Let's do this. Actually, let's do this, and there's no good way to go about that, so we'll just hack job it. Actually, no, that's fine, because the repeating pattern will look like this, and that's okay. As good as Seiken Densetsu 3's grass. What? What are you crapping on Seiken Densetsu 3? What did they ever do to you? I see there's a Japanese temple in the distance. Yeah. Yeah, right. Alright, so the layering here is going to be as such. We'll have something like this. So like the ground won't move, the trees will move a little bit, and then the far trees will move even more. Or less, or something. Or yeah, no, so the ground's gonna move the fastest. The trees in the back a little bit less. And then that part is gonna move the least up on top. Oh, and what we could do to take it a step further, we'll make a moon. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just gonna wing it. Oh boy, it's a moon. It's a happy moon or something. I don't know. Whatever. That's terrible. It's terrible. Oh man, that's really terrible. I should just use the circle. Where is the circle? Where's the circle? Oh no, it actually shaded it. That's not good. Actually, no, that's okay. That's okay. Because I'll just turn it into... Because it's only like a couple shades, right? Yeah. And then I'll just change the colors. This is so hacked up, but whatever. Okay, so black, light, and dark. Hey, look, it's a moon. That's how you do it. That shit. Let's see. Yeah, whatever. Good enough. Oh, it's gotta be blue, right, on the outside. I forgot. We'll change that. That is a simple fix. I might as well just make this thing 32 by 32 at this point. And then just trim with that. Whoop. Too far. trim that, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And there's our moon. Hooray! Okay. Just rotate the best looking tile. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Yeah, honestly, it's probably this one, right? And then it'll look uniform throughout the whole thing. There. And invert. And there we go. Okay. And I think we're pretty much done with this, so let's just copy it on back. And we'll put it over here. Okay, we can close that. Alright. Now we're going to save off different parts here. That's a Pocket Fighter folder. We need to go to Mitch. Parallax test. Oh, I must have hit the cap box there. Oh. Hey, what's up? Magic 5 or Magic V? No clouds at the moment. This is just a basic test, so if this works, then clouds will of course work as well. Let's see. Trees back. Trees. Well, tree, singular, but it doesn't matter. And then only one of these ground tiles. Ground. Not pixel art. Hashtag, yeah. No, we're focusing on programming, so fancy pixel art will have to take a backseat. It'll take too long to make something interesting. Okay, so gonna get rid of all those. We're just gonna make, well, let's import the graphics first. Before we start doing anything too crazy. Oh, folder, yeah. In the Pocket Fighter one, I've got a million things in front of the folder, one up on top, so I'm always used to looking like down near the bottom for it. In a new project, it's usually up there. Okay, so we're gonna make scripts, folder, and test graphics. Raw graphics. It's hard to type with the microphone up in my face. Like, I'm always afraid to hit it, so I don't touch it. Okay, so let's get the graphics in. Don't have the folder open. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Parallax test, and just drag it in. We're going to use 10 pixels per unit. They can remain single, I guess. Let's do bottom left. No geometry and full right. No filter and no compression since they're low-res pixel art. Okay. So the idea here, the structure that I'm going with, is you're going to have like a parent object. So we'll say that's back trees, and that's going to have your I don't know how to put it. That's going to be like a parent object to everything in your layer, and then it will move everything attached to it. you know, when the Parallax controller is programmed. And the idea is it's only going to move when you're either in editor and you've got like a camera highlighted so you can move the camera and see where the position will be in real time, or when the camera renders. And then it will, you know, only update on that. So the idea is there's a couple reasons to do that. One, while the game is updating, you don't want to necessarily move them if they're not going to be seen. Until the camera renders, the position of the parallax layer it's not important. It doesn't help anything. So you want it to only move and reposition when you have the camera rendering. And so there's a way to do that. There's a way to call specific events right before camera renders. And I use that in Pocket Fighter EX to do the screen flashing, if I recall correctly. So your layer is going to have a parallax controller, and then the camera is going to have like a parallax camera controller, and those two will interact with each other. So the other reason to move them only when a camera renders is so that you can, if you have two cameras, like a split screen, it'll move it for one view, render, and then it'll move it for the second camera view and render, and that way they'll both be correct for their perspectives in each camera. So that should help with any kind of split screen. Not to say that we're going to have any sort of split screen functionality in this game, but just looking forward, and if anyone else finds it useful. So that's what I expect this is going to take shape as, and so we're just going to kind of wing it and see what happens, because that's what we do on this channel. Crap, can I... I'm going to reposition this. Yeah, you go here, and you go here. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Yeah, that way, when I shrink it down, we've got this still here. And you know what? We don't need the animation. We do need the console tab, though. But we can pull that down a little. I think that should be okay. Alright, and so right now what we have, we just got our dude, and he's walking, and he's jumping, kicking, jumping with his button. Okay. And so we're just going to have the camera follow him. And we'll put in the graphics, and then we'll build the layers here. So we'll move that out of the way first. Our camera should be... Yeah, alright, so that's all set. I think our camera's sized correctly, because we do have the placeholder HUD, which I'll deactivate just so we can build this stuff. Okay, so first things first. We want the back tree. You know, this one's going to be ground first. Okay. I'm going to call it ground tile. It's going to be in ground. And since ground doesn't move, we probably won't have to put a parallax controller on it. But just for the heck of it. Okay, so we want this to be in the background. It's tiled. So I think I can, yeah, and this just repeats the pattern. So we're just gonna make it big. So that's fine. And it's going to be on the ground, I guess. Actually, I should have made... No, I should have done. And actually, we can do this easy. We don't have to make a new graphic for this. If we go to the sprite editor and you do this, then it'll just repeat what's in the green box here and not on the top. So it should let us do this. Yeah, okay. That'll work. We'll do 32, and then this is, what, 56? Oh, I'm sorry. 556 pixels, because every 0.1 is a pixel, and we use 10 pixels per unit at this screen size. Okay, so this is 32 pixels up and down. Not that it completely matters, but, you know, you get the idea. And we're going to line this up about there, so... 0.2. Alright, that's pretty good. And we're just going to make this really big too. And we're just going to stretch it so that he can walk without any problem. So it should hide the ground behind it. I do see a pixel there, but it doesn't matter. It's okay. Okay. So he's doing this thing. What is the... Oh, it's because this thing's off. Yeah. Oh, you know what? This should be 0, 0. And then this should be the one that's moved. Let's see. Okay. And now we should be able to see the ground. Yeah, I think it's all set now. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay. And he can walk on it, but he's not. Doop doop doop. Okay. Alright, so then our second layer is going to be trees. And we're going to do the same thing with this. So this will be 0, 0, 0. And here's the tree. And he's going to be 0, 0, 0. Okay. And same thing. Tiled. And we're going to stretch it a bunch. It really doesn't matter how long it is, as long as it's enough to show the effect. And we'll put it about here for now. It's going to be basically the same thing. 6. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Back trees. Capitalized correctly. Nice. Trees back. Back trees, trees back, whatever. What's the difference? Same thing. 0, 0, 0, and... let's see. Oh, these. Yeah, let's set them to back, and the back trees will also be set to back. And tiled, and it's gonna be big. It's gonna be bigly, alright? Have some bigly tree line. Okay, and then this is gonna get moved over here. That's it. And 0.3, 0.2, 0.4, 0.5, 0.4. Okay. And we'll zero out the Z. And there's our trees. And so that's what that looks like. And now we need our moon layer. Now, yes, the moon and the trees will have a different blue than the background, but for now, it'll be important to keep it that way so that we can see where the borders are there. But we will eventually make the sky the same color. And yeah, this one we'll just, I don't know, put it here. And that rounds out to be -8. Might as well be 4, yeah. And 0. Okay. Should be alright with that. Okay, so those are our layers, and of course they're not going to do anything yet. But there they are. Ta-da! Da-da-da. Okay. Now our job is to make them sing and dance to the beat of the camera. Okay, so I will recolor the sky. Like I said, I'm leaving it a different color just so we can see the borders of the layers for now, but I'll recolor it once we get it working. Just so we have an idea of what everything looks like for debugging purposes. But yeah, if you want it, you can change the clear color or the wash color or whatever you want to call it, like that, and then you can see that. That's what it would look like. But just for now, I want to see what the borders are. So I'm just gonna keep it gray or whatever, and then we'll adjust that after. Let's save. I did hear some thunder before I started. Oh yeah. So if power goes out, the stream's gonna die. So just FYI. If I just leave suddenly, it's probably because the power went out. All right. So now the real thinking begins. Are you ready for some thinking? Parallax layer controller and parallax camera controller. Oh, it's not typing. What happened? Parallax camera controller. Okay. I think I spelled parallax right. Let's see. Parallax, yes, okay. The chat reply window helped me there. Using Internet Explorer, Edge, or whatever as a spell check. Okay, so here's the thing. It's gonna need an absolute position anchor, and it's going to change the transform position based on that anchor. So I guess it's only a 2D thing, so we'll only worry about that anchor point. And then on draw gizmos. Yeah, vector 3 equals transform.position.z. You know what? Let's just make it a vector 3. It's fine. It's fine. Now we don't have to worry about processing the z point. And it's gonna be 0 by default. Because maybe you will need the z. Who knows? I probably won't need it, but maybe someone will. And so if you want the anchor to be on a certain z, then sure, whatever. That's fine. Okay, so let's see. Gizmos.color equals, I don't know, red. Do red. So gizmos, yeah, gigs. Gizmos.draw, I don't know, sphere. Yeah, we'll do a sphere. It's fine. So we'll know our anchor point is there, and what's that one also? A radius. 0.1, sure. That works for me. And so this will be a world position. This will be an absolute world position, and all the processing from there will be done using that. So the relation between that position and the ground don't need it. Oh, it didn't. Oh, it did for dividends. Did it put it here? Oh, where'd it go? Thought I dragged it, maybe I didn't drag it right. Okay, so only the things that need it have it, and that's good. Holy crap. It's already 7:40. Oh my god. Time flew. Hope we can make it in time. Alright, so the anchor point's going to be, you know, where this layer is grounded, and it's going to correlate. The position, its new position is going to correlate between, calculated between that anchor and then the camera's current position, or rather the Parallax camera controller's current position. Oh, which I put this in the wrong one. Okay, hold on. I was gonna say, where's all the dots? The dots didn't show up. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Hopefully this will be better. Actually, we might not be able to see them because of... Oh, what's this? Oh, reference. Oh, that's in the editor itself. Editor styles. Okay. I see that sometimes. I'm not really sure what that's about. But I don't think it's with my script. Okay, so if we go to a layer, and we move... Yeah, there it is. There's the dot. So 0, 0 is fine for that. Because that one's probably not going to move. Or rather, it'll move with the camera. Then the back trees. Yeah, and then the Y of 0.4. So that's its anchor. Trees, we're just going to put them on like the bottom left coordinate here. In fact, we can just copy this because that's the coordinate we want. And then the ground doesn't have one, or shouldn't at least. Right. Because that's not going to Parallax. Only these ones are. Okay. Save. Just in case Thunder's around the corner. Okay, and so public vector 2. I'm gonna call it scroll factor. It's gonna be vector 3.1. No, dot 0. Let's say dot 0. Because that will prevent it from rolling. And so that's gonna basically be how fast are these things gonna be scrolling along with it. So like 1 would be that it's gonna scroll along with the camera. It's gonna stay 1 to 1 with it. So like a scroll factor of 0, 1 or 1, 0 would mean that it would scroll with the X, but it won't scroll with the Y. It'll remain stationary. That kind of stuff. That's the kind of idea that we're gonna go with here. Hey! Locust 3S? What's the 3S for? Is that for third strike? It's okay if it's not. But that's what 3S stands for me. Okay, so we want a public void adjust. Let's see. Process, what do we want to call it? Basically the function that's gonna make it scroll. You know, set parallax position. How about that? That sounds good. Yeah, okay. So, in the Parallax camera controller, let's... Camera equals null. So in the awake camera equals get component camera in fact we'll do it this way. If the camera... Oh wait, yeah. If the camera's already found, then return. But if it is not, then attach that sucker. Okay. We're gonna make... This is gonna be quick and dirty. We're gonna make a static Parallax camera controller and... Yeah, so we'll say last selected Parallax camera. Oh, I guess it's public for now. And then so on validate, that's going to get set to this. And public pool, set this as editor cam, focus camera, whatever. And this is just going to be a quick and dirty way to get it to attach the camera and to set this as the last thing. And we're going to reference this in the other script. So oh yeah. So what we do, we'll put it in here. So if that, then this equals false. So it should turn itself off, and we can keep clicking it if we need to. And so here, if that doesn't exist, then return. Oh, yeah, it's gonna have to be this dot that. Yeah. Okay, so then if there's no camera attached. Oh, camera's private, right? Yeah. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna make that public, but system.non-serialized camera. Yeah, once we get to this point, let's just do this. We'll call it P camera for Parallax camera. And so a Parallax camera dot cameras, actually what we'll do first is attach camera. And so then we'll check if the camera is attached. If it is not attached, then we're getting the hell out of here because there's something we can do. Alright, now we can start doing our math. So we want to take... How is vector 2 made equal to a vector 3? Because it just truncates it. Yeah, I didn't notice that. It was a good catch. It just truncates. There's conversions between vector 2 and 3. Where it just truncates the z-axis. And it basically recreates a vector 2 and copies in the x and the y. There are certain conversions, like for certain functions, that it will yell at you for that, and then you have to cast it manually, but sometimes it'll just go. And water down the right pipe. Of course. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. Vector 3 call it diff equals anchor point, or maybe camera, yeah. Peak camera, transform, position minus anchor point. So the difference between the anchor and the camera. And so diff is going to be multiplied. I actually can't do it this way. Dot x times equals. I don't think it can. I don't think you can multiply two vectors together. It won't give you the right. I don't think it'll let you do it at all. So basically, we just want to use the scale factor, apply it to the difference, and then let's see, what are we gonna do here? How do we want to do this? Then I think, yeah, okay, so transform that position, I think will just be anchor point plus the difference. I think that should work. Okay. And so, let's see, what we want to do now. This is just a test. We're going to make an update function, a bool, public bool. Yeah, public bool test process position. So if test process position, then set parallax position. Okay, so the camera now needs parallax camera controller, and we'll set it. And I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to find out. Okay, so set, and then let's just say trees. We're gonna set it as a 1-to-1. Okay, that didn't quite work, but let's see what happens when we move the camera. Just to see if it actually goes with it. It does, it moves with the camera. Cool. That is neato. Now it's out of the camera's range. I think we'll be able to see that, yeah, in 3D. It has to be, it's so flat with the camera can't see it. It has to be in front of it. So let's see. There's a couple things to check here. So anchor point is a vector 3. Oh, you know why? Because we didn't give it, no, it is 0. Alright, let's take a look at this again. Oh, you know why? I think we need to make the difference, the Z difference, 0. Now let's see. Would be the anchor point plus the difference. Yeah, we don't want to change the Z. I think that might have been why it went OFP. Oh, let me turn off the Automax. So camera, set, trees, begin scrolling, and then we'll go back to camera. Oh, it's set to 0, which is, yeah, actually that's the right behavior. But if we do 1, okay, I think we're getting somewhere. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, but we're getting there. Yeah, and then so that scrolls 1 to 1. Now 0.5. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Sweet deal. Okay. So it looks like in order to be lined up correctly when the camera's at 0, 0, we're gonna need to be is it about negative 9.6 more? So negative 9.6. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It'll have to be on here. Negative 9.6. Because remember, the current position that it is right now doesn't really mean anything. It's this anchor point that really means. So it's going to start here. We'll just turn that on. Hell, we can turn them all on at this point. The moon's going to stay 1, 1. The trees in the back are going to be 0.25 and 1. Or 0, yeah, it's 0. And yeah, the moon's gonna be 1, 0. No, actually, the moon can be 1, 1. Yeah, we'll test that. 25, 0. This will be 0.5 and 0. Okay, they're all turned on. And the ground doesn't have any parallax. So let's do this and then set the test camera. Hey, well, look at that. Oh boy, look at that. Alright, the moon's a little wacky, but we'll fix that in a bit. But yeah, that's the basic idea. I guess the trees have to go back a bit more. So they have to be about 38.4. Their anchor point. So we'll paste that. Let's try it again. Okay. So then, let's see, is it currently? Oh, they are. Okay, it does pick it up automatically. That's good. It did keep that. So then that makes it easier here. So the back trees are going to have an anchor point of... hell, I don't know. 0.6, yeah. And that lines them up. So let's copy that. Paste that. And the moon is a little goofy because it goes right to the center. I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, because there's no anchor point. That's why. That's why. Which doesn't seem to matter because it doesn't change anything. Not sure what that's about, but let's at least get the anchor point right. And we'll put this one like right here. So let's round that off. It should be minus 13 then. Copy components. Paste. Okay. So then we'll go to our camera. And we'll look at that. Something like that. So yeah, what's up with the moon here? Let's try this. Alright, looks like it's working now. So the moon follows the camera explicitly. And, let me make sure that's set. Yeah, not bad, right? Now, it's not optimized yet, obviously. It's doing it whenever we have this. Oh! Cache QF? I have no idea. Thank you for the follow. I just don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm very sorry. Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm going to move this over here for a moment. Make it easier to see. We should be able to move this whole HUD and camera. And okay. Yeah, something like that. I think the back trees are moving too much, and the forward trees are not moving enough. So let's reverse those. 0.5 and 0.25. Does that look better? Oh, and we turned the HUD placeholder back on. So. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. Look at that. Cool. All right, now you gotta fix a few things. So the other thing to test is ship it. Y does not move. Look at that. And that's exactly what we wanted it to do. Exactly what we wanted. Alright, so we're gonna do another quick dirty little thing here. We're gonna make a follow the character script. So follow transform, and this way we can follow the actual character and walk around. So follow this transform and update, actually late update. Oh, never mind. Just copy it. If there's nothing to follow, then don't do anything. If there is, well, we want an offset too, so public vector 3 follow offset equals vector 3.0 transform net position equals that plus follow offset, plain and simple. Public bool following active. Turn off at first. So if either of those are bad, then return. And we're gonna make the whole thing here, this whole part here, this. And where's the player? Gonna make him follow the player's transform. And we'll figure out the. There we are. Okay. So, of course, there's no boundary to the jumping, but it is what it is for now. Alright, so we're going to adjust this. 7.5, 7.6. Kind of looks like there's still an overhang. 7.7. That looks okay. Okay, so we'll copy those settings, paste, and so it should bottom out at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, and there we go. So let's see. We do need to correct this to 0.25, this to 0.5, and I think that works for that. And there we go. Look at that shit. Hey, it's working. Okay, so now we need to test. It's a regular circle of the moon, yeah. Now we need to test and well, look how that's funny. Look how it trails it. I think it's because it's not doing it at render time, so the moon gets a little jittery. Because it's just doing it, I think, in update, right? Yeah, it's just doing an update. So now we need to let's test the y-axis one. So here's the one that it's not respecting the anchor here. I'm not sure why. Or is it setting the anchor to that point? Oh, it is setting the anchor to that point, so that's okay, I guess. Yeah, but there's no way to offset that. It's not offsetting. Hold on. Let's think about this for a second. Is that actually doing what it should be doing? It might actually be. Yeah, this time's a scroll X. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that is kind of what it's supposed to do, isn't it? So then it would be on me to move the moon. So that, yeah, the moon itself would have to move like up here. Just for the heck of it, let's just say it's that. Yeah, and so you would get that then. And then you could get that, so it moves a little bit, but not completely. So you could say 0.75, and so it moves just a little bit when it goes up and down. And then you could say that this is like 0.9. Is that right? Yeah, and so the moon moves really slow. So 0.99, yeah, and then the moon moves really slow as you scroll across. So there, that's some stuff that can be done with that. And then so if it's one, it's that. And then you'll just have to adjust the object's position in the layer to accompany where it needs to be. Ah! moon going over the ground. But yeah, so you let it go. Let's see. Let's do that. Yeah, then you can see it moving even though we're falling off. It's moving very slowly. So you can do stuff like that. So let's do 0.95 and then 1. And let's see. Where now does the moon have to be? So 5.4 and 5.4. That's fine, that works. We get a 5.4. 5.4. How do you render the moon behind the rest? Okay. In your sprite renderer, I selected them on the layer. They're all on the layer back. But you can just say like -10, and that sorts it below the rest. So now it's behind it. So might as well make that a permanent change. Okay, so how do we optimize this now that it will do this only when the camera renders? I think, let's see, I started that, right? Maybe I didn't. Did I start that? Okay, I made it follow it. We did that. So we'll close that. Alright, so there is a command. This is the camera controller, right? Yeah. Let's see. Was it on pre-render or something? On pre-render. Let's look this up quick. It's called before a camera starts rendering the scene. This function is called only if the script is attached to the camera and is able. Alright, that is exactly the one we're looking for. Okay, so one thing we're going to have to do here is static list Parallax layer controller, all layer controllers, and then on awake, or we want pipe void attach, yeah, attach to all controllers. Now, you know what, we don't need this on thing. Do we have an awake? We'll just do it here. All layer controllers dot add this, and then on destroy all layer controllers dot remove this. Easy peasy. We don't have multiple steps, so there's no real reason to make a method out of that. Okay. And so we want a public static call. What do we call it? Set parallax position. Oh, public static void, sorry. Then for all the layers here, count lists. Great, plus plus. Then we want all layers I dot set parallax position. Yeah. I'm trying to think if we should send the camera through here for the vector 3 camera position, and we can do this. And get rid of this. And then camera position here. This might work out okay. And so we're going to disable this. In fact, it doesn't need an update at all. send the camera position. Okay, and just to make sure that it's a valid one. Yeah, I think that will do. And so on this pre-render, we're gonna call. Wait, that's transform. Nope. Camera.transform.position. And that should work, and that might actually work in editor too. We'll see how reliable that is if we start moving things around. Yeah, all our colors. I think that should be okay. See what happens. No errors. It should be, because it is rendering here automatically, it should just be working. So if we do move this, it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, it's the curse of the moon. Absolutely. Let's see. Well, maybe we gotta play. If we play, does it work? Okay, it might work. Yeah, it works when we play. So there's that at least. We're getting there. We're getting there. Look at that. Yeah, the kick. There's Tim's kick animation. Supposed to be a run animation, but, well, you know. Yeah. Alright, so at least it's working that way. But it doesn't do it here. And that's also okay. And I'm not 100% sure if it's because it hasn't awakened yet, or what. So it just may not be adding it to the list. And we can test for this. We can just set a breakpoint here and see what happens. Okay, it should catch if I go to this tab. It did not. So it's not calling. It's not calling this for whatever reason. Well, that's okay. We can force it to do this kind of stuff. Let's see. Now, if we... is there an easy way to get two cameras in here? Or not? Did we add another game tab? Oh yeah, then we can do a display too. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if this will actually work. I'm actually kind of curious about this. So we want camera 2. We'll see if the split screen kind of shit works. So we want, yeah, so display 2, we want this to be display 2. Oh, did it not capture the settings? Looks different. Oh, because it's free aspect. Yeah, you know what? Let's keep it free aspect. Then we'll be able to see. That'd be an easy way to tell that it's different. Oh shit, that's my camera. Okay. We don't want to do that. We want negative. There. Okay, so if we play, they should look right for both of them. So if that's there, oh yeah, maybe because it's free aspect. Hold on. They should. Oh yeah, I guess it's kind of off already anyway, isn't it? How come that's off now? What happened? Not really sure how to see if these are actually the same or not. Or if they're working correctly. Just wait till your character's sprites get replaced by Garfield. Hey, Garfield Day was like yesterday, or the day before. It's National Garfield Day, or Worldwide Garfield Day. No, not Garfield, man. I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure if this is right or not. I don't think it's acting right, because didn't we set this so that it would be even with the side here? Or did we undo that by accident? Alright, so if we delete camera 2, then it doesn't seem to change anything. Let's delete camera 2 before we even start it. Let's see what happens. Okay, it is the same result, so maybe it is right. Okay, let's undo the deletion of camera 2 then. Alright, let's calibrate everything to camera 1. I thought we already did. But... So trees back. Huh. And that's weird. Oh, right. We weren't inside here. Okay, here we are. That's what I'm looking for. Camera's off by 1. So let's player absolutely on 0. Alright, that's calibrated actually pretty well. And this is trees back, so let's copy this, paste the values. Then we'll do the normal trees. We'll line it up so that it's completely even here. And then we'll make sure that it's actually the same. So trees here. Oh, it's not good. That's actually perfect. So copy, turn it off, paste values. Hi Sophie, how's it going? Okay, so they're lined up with the edge here. That's what we want to do to test it. And then so both cameras should behave the same, and they do. So there you go. You can have your split screen now. And I just noticed my flex is on. Let's take that out. Prepare for the blue. Oh, it's a little intense. There. So both cameras, even though they're offset, they behave exactly the same. So you could have your little split screen stuff going on. I forget. Was there an easy way to do split screen on a camera or no? Viewpoint rect. Oh yeah, here we go. Sort of, maybe? How does this work now? And then, like... Is this... How do we get both cameras in there? How do we do that? I don't know if I can. Can I get one? Maybe not. It's a ghost. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to do this. Wait, what if I set this one to also display one? Oh, there we go! Hey, look at that, okay. It's actually really hard to tell how this is working. It looks like they're the same though. So when you get to this point here, and we'll do that on the side, and they're the same distance. So there you go. They're acting in tandem. I don't know if they're calibrated 100% right though. I kind of expected that this would be even instead of leaving that overhang, but I don't really know. Well, I guess it is okay. Because it's there? Man, I don't know. Oh yeah, let's turn this on. Okay. And let's do this. And then we might be able to see the real time. Yeah. Okay. So if we go here and turn the HUD off now, it's not 100% right. It's a little off because this should be aligned with the left side now, I guess. So I don't know about that. I guess there's a little calibration to do. Maybe because we changed the viewport size here. But they are at least consistent. You see the same offset on both sides when you get to that point. So when you get to like a tile's length here, it's right on the edge of this. And then over here, when you get tile's length here, it's right on the edge. So they're at least both consistent, which means that it's working. It's working the way Mother Nature intended, I guess. I don't know, whatever. So did that undo all the crazy goofy stuff? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so we're back to normal. Huh, but yeah, see? The edge of the screen acts different, but I'm thinking it might have been because it was like a half screen. But still, that's a little weird. Not sure if that should happen or not. Because if you do have a split screen, that won't be right. But maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just how it works. I might have to make it a little more complicated than it is, but... Alright, yeah, you want this guy? Alright, we'll change this guy color. There you go. There's the sky color change. That's pretty much it. That's what it looks like. Okay, let me permanently turn this back on here. Just to see what it looks like. There. I do not. I don't believe this channel has transcoding, and that's what gives you different quality options on a Twitch channel. And if Twitch does not deem that your channel is big enough to bother having it, they don't give it to you. So unfortunately, there's no way for you to do that, Sophie. When I upload it on YouTube, you will have quality control settings, and so that'll be in a couple days. I'm not allowed to upload YouTube replays for 24 hours after the broadcast is ended. That's the terms of service that I signed to be a Twitch affiliate. So those go up. Let's see, it's Thursday, Friday, so it'll be on Saturday. It'll go up. There were options on previous streams. Today's doesn't have it for some reason. Yeah, I had it at one point before too, and then it just kind of went away. So Twitch don't like me. I'm big enough, I'm not big enough, I'm big enough, I'm not big enough. There's some algorithm that controls it. That's just how it is. Yeah, so unfortunately I wish they did have it, because I know a few people that want to view the streams, but they can't because there's no way for their internet to support it, which really sucks. So, look at that Parallax. Smooth as a baby's bottom. I don't think we're rendering... Yeah, we're just rendering at full resolution. What is our resolution? We can get a better idea of what... not this one. We can get a better idea of what it actually looks like. Canvas size 384 216. So let's add. Oh, do we already have one here? Doesn't look like it. So mention fixed 384 216. Okie dokie. Oh, there you go. Now it's 1:1. So it's a little bit jitterier because now it's doing shifting them only in pixels, but yeah. So that looks a bit more retro. Now we're cooking. It'd be interesting to see all the scrolling aligned perfectly on the grid once the camera hits the edge of the stage. Yeah, we set it for that, and now it kind of unset, but... Oh yeah, the other thing, because we got the HUD in the way too now. Let's see, let me turn the HUD off again. Let's get rid of camera 2 and this, because we tested that and it works. Yeah, so when... I don't know. Now it's back to normal. Let's undo. Can we come back, bring back camera 2? Yeah, it's still right though. It's still okay. So it's only when we changed the viewport settings that things got a little weird. So I don't know if that's actually an issue or that's just kind of how it goes with that. But I could play with it around later because we won't have enough time to monkey with that. And since we're not having split screen in the game, it don't matter. And here it lines up, but it's because the screen has this spacer here. So if it was here, it would line up. But we have the spacer on the outside now. Yeah, I'll fiddle with the settings for like the viewport screen and all that crap. Let's see. Actually, let me do one more test here. If we do 0.25 and then a width of 0.5, is it still right? On the end here. It is not. And I think it's because it's based on the position of the screen. So it's assuming that this space is still here. Yeah. But if we move this to here, it still lines up. So, yeah. I'm not really sure how that could be fixed, per se. Because you would want it aligned to here, maybe? I don't know. Does that make sense or not? Maybe it doesn't make sense. I don't know. We're not doing split screen, so I'm not going to spend too much time on worrying about it, but... You know, if I ever release the code or whatever, I mean, you can just copy what I did on stream. I'm not sure if that's the right answer or not. To have it like that. Oops, shit. Alright. I don't know. Should it align always to the left side of the screen? Because I think it's correct for the position of the camera in world space here. Because the camera's right in the middle. But should it align to the left side of the camera or not? I'm kind of leaning toward yeah. Because say if you do not free aspect. Does that change it? When we do 5 to 4, does that change it? How do we test this? Yeah, let's reset. And yeah, so yeah, because see, when you have a different aspect ratio, it doesn't line up anymore. So we might have to calculate what is the edge here. Because this is now, yeah, this is still a full camera again. It just doesn't line up right. So we might have to do it based on the left edge. We'll have to calculate what's the left edge of the camera, and then do all our subtraction based on that. And then it should line up. Let's see if we can do that. In order to calculate the left edge of the camera, we need where's this called from? Okay. So let's say bottom left. Camera bottom left. Yeah, let's attach camera, and then if no camera, then wait, no, that's dumb because only if the camera actually exists will it even call this. But that doesn't mean that the camera's attached here. That's true. It just means that the camera exists on the same object. So yeah, that still could be a good thing to keep there. Okay, so camera dot size, orthographic size dot, oh, that's it. That's the up and down. That's the radius, I believe. Okay. So it would be times 2 for the height, I believe, because it is the camera orthographic size is 10. That's 108 pixels. Times 2 is 216, which is our resolution. So that's the radius of the height of the camera. So our height would be times 2. So in order to get the camera width, I think we gotta do the camera height times camera dot do we have an aspect? We have an aspect. That might work. So camera bottom left will be actually So yeah, what we're gonna do here, vector 2, camera size, new vector 2. Yeah, we'll do this. Oh, we need this anyway. Alright, hold on. Yeah, alright, never mind. If we're just gonna go through all that, then just keep it this way. Simple, clean is the way that it... I forget the lyrics. Transform dot position plus new vector 3 negative height divided by 2, or well, this is probably more efficient, that way we're not times it by 2 and dividing by 2 again. And so negative camera width divided by 2 and 0. Let's see. We want bottom left, right? So yeah, so minus the x. Oh wait, shit, I got this backwards. Yeah, minus the x, the radius of the camera width, and then negative in unity measurements goes down. So that's negative half the height of the camera, and then nothing for the scene. Do you plan to also have screen transitions? Don't know what you mean by that, like the screen wiping out, like black by black or something like that? Or fading out and stuff? I mean, if that's the question, then yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we'll try 4x3 once we get it working here. Okay, so we got the camera bottom left, and let's send that instead. That's gonna make us redo some of this, but that's okay. And we got awake, undestroy. We don't need the update anymore. We do have the gizmo. Alright, I guess let's see how this works. Oh, that way. Probably not. I don't know. I don't see any reason for it in the immediate future, but I guess we'll figure that out as it goes along. Oh, whoops, that was the whole thing. Alright, let's get rid of camera 2 for now. We don't need that. Camera 1's on display 1. Yeah, and we'll turn this off for now. And I guess see what this does. Okay. So it's a 3.5 in on there. It's a 3.5 in on here. I think our math might be right. 4x3. It's a 3.5 to the edge. 16.9 is a 3.5 to the edge. Okay, so now I'm curious. This probably won't take this into consideration, but oh, it does! It does! So the aspect actually gets calculated with the width. Okay, so we solved that problem. We solved it. Split screen is a go, right? Okay, now it makes me want to do the split screen again, just to see. I actually didn't think that would work as well as it did. Yeah, whatever. Camera 1. So then this is 0.5. so this should be like a split screen version of this, and they should all be correct. And so the moon is missing. That's because the map changed a little here. So I assume the moon's like off to the right. Actually, what would be a really neat test? 1 and 0.5. Oh wow, that's wacky. Look at that. That's so wacky. That's so weird. That's camera. Wait, that's camera 2. So put him on top. No, player 1's always on top, right? Yeah. So this would be 1 and 0.5. Crap, I don't know which one's which now. Okay, yeah, that's on top, and then player 2's on bottom. There you go. So, assuming that, assume that's player 2. And it looks like the math works out. Because it's all aligned now. There you go. Split screen. Except I guess it would be more like this. Or something. They'd have to be zoomed in way more. Because, like, this is what it looks like in that. It's so whack. But that's okay. But there you go. Split screen works. Everything looks like it's calibrated correctly. Just have to calibrate it by the bottom left corner. Arguably maybe the top left, but I kind of don't care either way. As long as it works consistently. That's pretty much the idea here. Okay, so let's undo the madness. This is one more. Okay. Make sure that this is okay. Yeah, alright. And all the measurements still look correct. So now, one more time. Yeah, where's the... Oh, the moon's down here. Okay. Yeah, let's pop him down here. And let's actually calibrate these properly. So, player, we're going to set him to specifically 0. Get our measurements here. And once again, we'll go through and change the anchor point here. Oh yeah, you can see it sliding in with it. That's cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be right for all of them now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's all going to be consistent. And then the moon? Hell, I'm not really sure. There's no offset here. Because we got to do it on here. Right, yeah, okay, so that's going to be 0. It's going to be essentially on there. It's off by a little bit, but so are these. I think it's just because of the scrolling. Alright, so we want it, I don't know, like right here, slide 12.3, 15.2. And then when we do that, it's going to undo all those. So we're going to paste that. And I do remember that, well, I suppose that doesn't matter because it's 1 to 1. So we'll just 0 it out. The back trees are going to be negative 19.3. These trees are negative 19.3. And the ground is as is. So we should be able to see that everything lines up on the left side. There we go. Okay, so those are, as far as we know, our final calibrations on that. Whee! Look at that. Okay. And the moon follows us properly. Cool deal. Happy about that. That's really good. That is really good. Okay, so do have that. Let's save before the storm takes us out. I haven't heard any thunder in a while, but I do have the headphones on, so who knows. Mostly in regards to moving from a horizontal parallax area to a stationary or vertical scroll area. Yeah, in Mega Man, if there was a horizontal parallax and you hit the screen transition, it would actually set the parallax back to its default position before it continued to scroll to the next area. And that was the limitation of the way that the NES worked. Much like exactly what we have here, the NES could only scroll rows and columns, rows or columns of tiles. So if you were to say, hey, this is all one solid tile map, what would happen is when the NES renders, it just pushes the offset of that row of tiles, and you get this exact effect. The thing is, you can't do it up and down and left and right at the same time. You have to choose whether it goes sideways or up and down. Now, if you hit the screen transition and they did not reset the scrolling, the next screen that's coming in would also be shifted strangely. Let me see if I think I have some reference maps in here, so I can show you exactly how that works. Oh man, let's see. Mario 2. Do I have Mega Man? I'm surprised I don't have Mega Man. Metroid's probably a good example. So say you're in this room, and like say this scrolls. Hold on, let me get black. It'd be easier to see. Say as you're moving, this part scrolls on the top. What it's really doing, it's literally doing this. Like, everything is scrolling when it displays it, because it's a render scroll. It's not actually in the map that's doing this. It's the NES is like, oh yeah, we're just gonna shift these rows when we draw this row of tiles. So if, say, you end up and the scroll is here, by the time you hit the door, if they don't return that scroll back to the origin... Alright, hold on. That's right there? Okay. So, we're gonna say that it scrolled like this. So if you're going along here, boom, we hit the door. Alright, cool. If Mega Man hits the door and they scroll like this, if they don't return that row, you're gonna get this. It's gonna be all messed up. So what they do is, once you hit here, you touch the door, they undo the scroll and then go to the next room, so the next room doesn't look all screwed up. And that's why you see that in some games when there's scrolling elements like that it resets when you do that transition. I think like Wave Man stage in Mega Man 5 does that. I think when you hit the maybe. I think when you fight the octopus? I can't remember. But there are places in Mega Man that do that, where they do have the scrolling and it has to reset when they hit it. And other games do that too. And it looks a little strange, but that's the only way that they can pull it off. Otherwise you'd get that weird result the next stage, or the next room. Oh, it'll look all screwed up. And, oh yeah, and just to exemplify that, like, you can do up and down, but you can only do one or the other. So you can't, like, do this. That doesn't let you do that. It's only shifting the tiles in one direction of your choice. And you can do every row differently. Like, you can have it like this, if you really want. Like, it don't care. You can shift the rows in any direction you want. And I think they loop back around. But the way the NES renders too is also like there's 4 screens in one. It's weird, but I'm not going to get into too much of that. It's a bit of a big explanation. But yeah, you could scroll each one differently. to make like a nice, you know, well, that's not a whole tile. You get the idea. To make like a nice parallax effect. And a good example of that kind of technique is the Sonic the Hedgehog intro. It uses the same kind of technique. Obviously it's on the Genesis, but it's the same thing. So, let's see. Sonic the Hedgehog title screen. Prepare for ads. Oh no, there's none. Cool. Yeah. So the water. Look at the water. If you look closely, it's actually rows of tiles that are being moved. Not each pixel is not. Each pixel is not moving on its row of pixels is not moving on its own. You can see groups. That is, the entire tile is moving on its own, and that's the same effect. They're just shifting rows of tiles, and the stuff in the background is the same way. If you notice, the waterfall part always ends right here. Oh, crap, where are we? Here. This is as high as the waterfall part can go, because this area here, this whole row, with this height, scrolls at a certain speed. The mountains in the back, they don't overlap top to bottom. It's just this clean divider line. Because it's doing it by tile rows. This clean line here, always separate. And the same thing, you see that no cloud goes any lower than the highest mountain peak. It's a separate set of tiles that are scrolling, because only rows of scrolling is occurring. And same thing with the water. The waterfall doesn't go into the water. They don't overlap. The divider line is right here. It's very rigid. That's exactly how the NES did it as well. I don't know. I know the Genesis has layering capabilities, and I'm not sure the full extent of what it can do. But at least they chose to use that technique on the background here, the same as the NES would do on its scrolling. So there's your explanation as to how that crap works. Well, man, I mean, we're pretty much did everything we need to do here for the most part. I got some optimizing to do, and I got to make it so that it'll scroll in edit mode here, but we kind of did it. We did it. It works. So I don't know. This is still broken. Yeah. So it doesn't look like. Yeah, it doesn't. The preview doesn't scroll, and I think there's two reasons for that. One is that it may not be calling this during edit mode, which is fine. But it may be calling, and also, yeah, it also may not be initiating this list. I don't think we can see static members in the debug here, but let's take a look anyway. Yeah, I don't think so. No. Let's do a quick and dirty thing. I don't know if this has to be at the class level. I think it has to be at the class level. So test debug layers is gonna equal to that. I'm just gonna copy it in and see if it actually will show us if there's anything. Okay, it did. It did pick them up. So that must be running alright. Alright. So what we might be able to do... Yeah, we might be able to do... Wait, now that it's running in editor mode, will it respond perhaps to this? And do we still have... We still have this on validate. I don't know if that will work or not. Let's find out. No, it does not reposition. Even though it's executing that. But nothing's calling this though either, so... Alright, let's do this. Execute in edit mode. Yeah, so no. I don't know. Will that work? Will that work? Can we tell if this thing is in the editor or not? You know, it's the only camera, so let's just let it do its thing. Let's just let it hammer on that call and see what happens. It doesn't go. Now, why is that? Should be executing in edit mode. Should be updating. Should be calling this. Can we see it? Will it break point? It does not. I don't know why though. Alright, let's look it up real quick. We got an example? Yeah. Makes all instances of script execute in edit mode, yeah. Only execute play mode, yeah, okay. This attribute is being phased out since it does not take prefab mode into account. If prefab mode behavior is blah 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 blah. Huh, that's kinda cool. Okay, anyway, it looks like we're using it correctly, but it doesn't want to update. Alright, let's try spit out a log thing. Maybe just this isn't working, but it's actually... Did it save? Is it going? I don't have any errors, do we? I don't see any errors. Oh, here. Derp, derp. Derp. Huh. It's only like playing once, though. Why is it only updating once? I don't understand. But it is derping. Oh. Time's up. That's our signal. I don't know. It's not really doing anything. I'll have to play with it off stream, see what I can figure out. But I'm happy at least that the normal stuff works. So let's undo the shit that don't work. Let's turn you off. And these dudes also need to stop that. Which I think they're okay. Okay, so let's let that compile. Clear that. Set this back to 0. Alright, let's see if this works. Yeah, okay. And that person. Cool. Oh god, it broke. Everything broke. Great. Oh no. Why is it broken? No wonder it didn't work. Everything's just broken. How is that not getting called? Oh no. Well, everything's broken now, that's great. I don't know. I busted it. Yeah, it should be calling that, but it's not. Why not? Oh, whatever. I'll figure out what I broke. That's weird. Account position. Yeah, it's not calling it at all anymore. I don't know. It's all weird. Great stopping point where everything's broken. Yeah. Well, you saw it. It worked. We'll just have to go from there. So anyway, we're basically done. I'll close her on out. So this stream is sponsored by generous patrons of the Scrub Army that keep the Game Dev Scrubs going. So if you too would like to be a member of the Scrub Army, you can go to our Patreon link, which is down below, and help support this channel. You get a few perks. You can get code samples, you can get early builds of the stuff we do on stream, a whole bunch of stuff. So check that out if you're interested. And we got a Discord too if you want to come hang out there. You don't need to be a patron to be in the Discord. You just drop right on in. And you can follow me on Twitter. We got Facebook pages. All that shit's down below. So that's pretty much it. Thanks everybody for hanging out and watching. And scrub out and see you next time.